So what does it actually look like to testify on a legislative day in the Missouri State Capitol? I want to kind of present this in a little bit of a different format than you've probably seen me in the past. Normally, I give breaking news updates, and I'm trying to be very quick and to the point. I hope that I can expand on some topics here, and you might hear me trip over my words now and then, but bear with me, and hopefully you enjoy some of this information. If you're wanting to sign up for a legislative day, particularly this upcoming legislative day on February 3rd at 4:30 on the anti-LGBT bills, I recommend you sign up through Promo Missouri. They kind of lead the charge on these legislative days and organize all the speaking. The reason why we kind of have signups and a little bit more of a intention behind who speaks is because in the past we've really struggled with kind of repeat messages. The person prior to you has said one thing and messages don't really adapt as they move on. And if these legislators hear the same thing over and over again, they're quick to tune out. In addition to that, there's kind of just a certain format that you have to approach this with because it is a very formal setting, and the legislators are pretty proud people that like to see things presented in a particular way, whether we like that or not. In order to have our voice better heard, sometimes we just have to kind of adapt the way that we approach it. So you definitely want to make sure that you introduce yourself, where you're from, and where you stand on the bill right away. And then in addition to that, just kind of give a clear and concise message on why you oppose the bill and round it out. Be prepared to speak for about 2 minutes, but also know that they have a huge pattern of shortening the amount of time, especially for people that disagree with the controlling party. And it's even more common when there's not as many supporters that show up for the bill. They'll shorten the speaking time for those in opposition, or if we just have hundreds that show up like we have in the past, there's not enough time to get through everybody. So at some point they do cut off testimony. They have this legislative season so far allowed everybody that wanted to speak on past bills speak in at least the Senate. It's unclear if they're going to use those same practices in hearings in the House chamber. Other than that, just really, really be prepared and armor yourself for the type of people and comments you're going to see and hear. We can't control who enters the state capitol, and that's one of the many great things because we're able to enter and make our voices heard. But that also means that some people that are really, really not fun to be around are there. Activism is often marked with just really awful commentary. And I've learned how to build up an armor for that. So people like myself and others that have been in these settings are often better prepared to enter them and hear those things. So I'm not saying don't come, but be prepared to hear those things. There is definitely a community there that supports each other and you can fall on, and it's honestly beautiful to see. As much as there are awful things in those days, there are some stunningly beautiful things to see as well. So I encourage you, if you feel ready and able and armored against those things, come. If you feel ready to speak and you feel like you can speak with intention and maybe adapt on the fly if needed, then sign up to speak. We would look forward to hearing from you. Other than that, you can submit written testimony through Promo's website as well, or just through the House website. And I really recommend, if you're not going to speak, that you do so, because we need to make sure that they get as many messages against this legislation or these bills as possible. I think that covers everything, and I hope that I'm able to make it down. If you see me, say hi, and I look forward to hearing all the beautiful ways that you kind of oppose this, because that's the thing about it as well. We're railing against the system. Some of the ways that people have chosen to oppose this legislation in the past have been stunningly beautiful, eloquently spoken, and I am often moved by the testimonies we hear. So as much as I did say we need to make sure that we're kind of being intentional with that message, do not hesitate to share your beautiful stories and make sure that they know that you exist and that you deserve rights and to be seen. Hope to see you there, and be safe out there, guys.